It's October 2nd, it's 8:36. I'm going to make this a part 2 because on the last one I said it was the 4th. I had the wrong month on the calendar. I thought of a good way to explain it. The Exorcist 3. If anybody hasn't seen it, it's going to be a spoiler alert. The priest from the first one is thrown out the window. Everybody thinks he's dead. But what happens is at that moment, the entity that was a serial killer enters his body. Now, this priest is in a mental hospital. And his friend, a cop, comes and realizes this is him. But this guy that is in there is claiming to be another person. At one point, this serial killer demon guy jumps up and tells to this cop, I am going to make your friend, this priest, watch while I rip, murder, and tear. And then it ends with the priest finally asking his friend, do it now, do it now. And this cop shoots his friend, the priest. Because at that moment, the priest came forward. He had to sit in that body and watch. And live with the memories of what this other personality had done. They all share the same brain. They share the same body. Those other things, personalities, CDE, feed off the same soul. But they all have the same memory. Personality A could be shown what personality B, C, D, E does. And personality A has to feel that guilt, the sorrow, the remorse, the pain. I thought of some examples about my son. He went to the dentist on June 9th. My son, we set up a T-ball thing out here one day, the big plastic ones. Listen, that kid, one swing, hit that ball halfway across the yard. First shot. And every time after that, wham! He just nailed it. It was like watching Yogi Berra in the body of a 2-foot kid. And he had an arm on him that would knock you over. When he threw a little plastic ball at you, he would whip it like McGuire. After June 9th, he forgot how to use the microwave, which was his and Daddy's routine every morning. He forgot how to hit the ball. He didn't throw the same. His style of dance changed overnight, which could be nothing, but put together with everything else, he just totally changed the way he danced overnight. Now these people are telling me I'm a bad father and all that. I knew everything about my kid. I didn't miss nothing. And in one of the videos I posted, my Eli, after the dentist appointment, says a big scary monster ate me. This is proof right here of a dissociative disorder. Now everybody's going to say, oh, that's just a 3-year-old. It's not. He would be sitting on the couch, reach over and punch his mother. Look at her. Did I do that? Why did I do that? Because for 2 seconds, bam, somebody else took over. It's the same thing with Liz. That is a perfect example. Everything will be fine. And then all of a sudden, she'll be putting herself on websites. Or shooting heroin again. Or accepting pills from her father. And she doesn't know why. Imagine how hard that has to be. I lived as an addict. That was horrible enough. But imagine not wanting to be one, or not being an addict, and having some other person control every move that you make, everything that you do, never allowing you to feel peace, never allowing you to feel love or happiness, making you sit back and watch as you hurt the people that you love most, your own flesh and blood. The reason Liz died because of that is because this thing, God literally detached it from her soul. And on its way out, it tried to take her with it. She was dead. Dead. For 2 days after that, she would just be looking and just tears would start pouring down her face. She could not stop crying. She had no idea why. It was because I don't even think he got all the way through. I think there was still one left. But she was coming out. she was finally accepting everything that had happened. That was the first time in her life that she felt God's love, because all those other times, it couldn't get through. These things are like a fortress. Like there's layers upon layers upon layers upon layers. And you got to take each one out. That night, he just dropped them. Boom! Out. That's why her throat went out like this. I can't imagine the pain. Imagine that. And now, I think the thing that sealed it was her first child. If I am right, in fact, that Jimmy, her brother, is in fact her son by her father, that was it. There was no coming back from that. Because she had to live the rest of her life telling people that that's not my son, that's my brother. And any human being would not be able to deal with that. That's why she has not really tried to get her 3 other kids. Like she says, I'm trying, but she never goes through with it. Because those other parts of her don't want her to. Imagine having 3 other people living in your head, at least, to control everything that you do. It'd be bad enough if it was just dumb stuff like making you steal cars. Imagine having to sit back and watch while you hand your child to your father in exchange for drugs. It's unbearable. I can't fathom the thought of it. Now, the other day, in those videos about heaven, I said, when I felt the love of God, that it was without strings. At that moment, what I felt was an unconditional love. I now understand that the only way to that love is through Jesus Christ. I don't want people saying that I'm trying to push that anybody could go to God. Like at that moment, he let me feel God's love. But there is one requirement, and that's his son. Last night, right before I was ready to go to bed, Chosen Explosion Ministries did a video. It was a prayer. And I knew as soon as I seen her, you could tell she had the Holy Spirit on her. As soon as I looked, I thought, I gotta watch this video. And within a minute, I was about 500 degrees. If you don't subscribe to them, I would. Because, man, God wanted her to make a prayer. And she was so full of it, it buckled me. It knocked me right down. I spent a half hour in my closet. I love that feeling. Someone had commented that in the end about Eli, it's my decision, but I've probably already made my decision by now, and you're right. I never was supposed to try to do this. That's why it became so hard, because I went against his will. He took her and Eli away and made sure that I understood and was okay with it. Like, he made me okay with it. Like, I understood that it served a purpose. But as soon as I started doing what he didn't want me to do, that's why it was so hard for me for the past 2 weeks. Because I wasn't doing his will. I was basically fighting against him. And when you fight against him, you can't feel him. That's why it was so hard. And I have made my decision. I always have. Part of me wants to go still. I contacted 2 people. I'm waiting to hear back from them. And then I'm just going to go on what he wants done. There's somebody on here, Dave Schruber, I think. I'll look up the name next time and tell you his family was involved in this stuff, and he got out, and he does everything he can to expose it. You got to go listen to him. If you want to know about this stuff, which if you don't, I don't blame you. But it really is who the enemy is. And I I say all the time that I sound like a lunatic is because this is insane. There's no other way to put it. Everything we are taught is fake, isn't. And to sit and say that the government is doing this, they have perfected creating a human being and are just taking kids and replacing them whenever they want. And it sounds like something right out of a fairy tale. But I would never say it if I wasn't 1,000% sure. Never. Never. I would not say this. Ever. There's no reason. That's just stupid. And the only reason I think I sound like a lunatic sometimes is because I still have a hard time believing this stuff. Like, it is still something that I struggle with every breath. Now, in spite of everything, like, I saw heaven, I had him stand behind me. The dreams, the visions, the feelings, watching Liz's face turn to something right out of a horror movie. Right in front of me. I still, because I don't want to believe it to be true. I would love to just say, you know what? This is all a dream. Start over. He gave me this stuff and allowed this stuff to happen for a reason. I guess that's it. That was everything I think I was supposed to say. It was important that I said about the no requirements, because there is a requirement. If you don't know Jesus Christ, you don't get to get that love. There is only one way to get to the Father, and that's through the Son. And without the Son, there's nothing. I hope that last video helped explain this a little bit. It's important that people understand why. And what exactly, because it's not just Liz. Like, there are people all over the world that are going through this. They are prisoners in their own bodies. And that's not of our Father. I love you guys. God bless.